So you've heard me talking about the SWat team. And the SWat team is something that we've been talking about for a while, frankly. But in the context of what we're doing in the different communities and the Extraordinary Business Network, it takes on a little bit of a different feel. And specifically because our B2B people have different stuff to offer, have different value, and have different ways of us giving them value than our B2C people. Now, there's lots of overlap, and obviously businesses need a lot of B2C businesses as well, right? A business needs a personal trainer, a business needs a massage therapist, a business needs a financial advisor. But when we're talking about SWat, we're really talking about even entrepreneurs sometimes need a little bit of help, right? They need help with their books. They need help with their graphic design. They need help with even coaching. They need help with figuring out how to manage and hire people. They need help with outsourcing. They need help with their web design, SEO, marketing, social media, all of that stuff. And they need to print things. And they need to get embroidered shirts, right? They need all of those types of value and services. So that's really what the SWat team is about. And, if we look at it, this is, us in the middle, NoVA, and we have these communities around. And right now, the B2C people, the Extraordinary Business Network specifically, or our lunches, or any of the businesses that we engage in any of those communities, they all sort of are oriented around one community. Our Extraordinary Business Network people are selected, and they select a specific community to become forum famous in. Well, I was thinking that that's good for it's not great. I'm sure everybody would love to be famous everywhere. But for the personal trainer, him being famous in Springfield is fine, right? For the home contractor, him being famous in Annandale is fine. But for some of our B2B people, you can cover more ground. So rather than having you have one community, we kind of have it set up where you can have 3 communities. And I have them envisioned as a region, but I'm seeing some mixing and matching, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to deal with that, but we'll play around with it. So what is it that I'm going to give you, and what is it that I want you to give me? Let's start with what I'm going to give you. First off, you're going to be introduced to all of our businesses around Northern Virginia. We have our SWat team guide, our Northern Virginia Small Business Support Guide that everybody who comes in contact with us will get. Now, in there, it says, here are our people for this region, here are our people for this region, here are the people for this region. So, the people in South County are going to see the resources for the people in Alexandria, but the theory is that there's not as much overlap. Once you get into the community, into the Extraordinary Business Network website, into Northern Virginia Small Business, into the lunches and all that stuff, you are going to be it in your particular business category for that community that you're coaching, managing, supporting, right? You're guiding and looking over the businesses in that community. Now, that may or may not stand forever. I don't know that we're always going to only have one printer or always going to have one SEO person. I have a lot of people in marketing and web, branding, etc. I'm not sure if it will always be one person, but for right now, and I'll talk to you about how one would rise to the top of that list. But for right now, let's envision it as one person, and you're in charge of helping those businesses out. Not for free. Charge what you charge. I'm going to say to these businesses, here's your guide. If you need help, contact these people. You're going to be present at the lunches if you want. You'll be present at our networking events if you want. You can have whatever presence you want, but that's really it, right? What I want to do is I want to introduce you to these people as the person who can help them with their particular problem, just like we're going to introduce those people to the community as the businesses that can help them with their particular issue. Now, our businesses, our B2C businesses, are putting down a deposit to join the network. And what we say to them is, as long as our relationship leads to new business for Greetings Virginia, new real estate business for Greetings Virginia, or if it leads to additional members in the network, then your membership is free. Well, I don't want, part of why I tell them to do that is because there are ways that they can focus on their businesses and use the tools that we have to help them succeed. I want you to think of it the same way. I don't want you to focus on, oh, let me get real estate business for Greetings Virginia. I want you to focus on, how can I meet more businesses? How can I meet more prospects? How can I attract more people? And how can I use the tools of the network to help you do that? So for instance, we have a quarterly business lunch, business community networking lunch in each of our communities. We just had one yesterday, or breakfast actually, yesterday in Old Town. We invited a bunch of people. We had 40 people pre-register. We had 25 people there. That was easy, okay? It was easy to invite people to a networking event to connect with other people in their community. That's something I want you to be able to do, but rather than attend as an attendee, I want you to attend there as the person who is responsible for this whole thing, the host, okay? That's an example of a tool that we have that you can start to use in your business, and it will redound to my benefit, because my benefit, or the thing that I want from you, full stop, the way that you're going to get this for no cost is by being, number one, as I say everything, number one, you have to be serving not just our customers, but all of your customers with integrity, with giving them extraordinary service, because you have to be worthy of us referring business to you, okay? But secondly, you have to be growing. You have to be out there finding businesses, reaching out to businesses. I'll give you 500 contacts in your specific community. I'll introduce you to everybody who comes to the event or even registers to the event. And you can take that information and begin your marketing process. But I need to see that our relationship is leading to more people coming into our network. The good news is that's what you're doing every day. So as long as you are introducing new people, you're inviting people to the lunch, you're distributing this Northern Virginia Small Business SWat Team guide, as you're introducing people to the network, as long as you're doing that, then your membership is going to be free. As I said, the Extraordinary Business Network, they make a deposit. Right now, I'm envisioning that if you're an early adopter, if you get this and you want in, then I'll waive the deposit. You could just get started. By the end of the first month, we're going to know whether you're producing, whether you're a productive, contributing member of the network or not, right? We'll find out soon enough. And if you aren't, that's fine. Come to the lunches. You just aren't going to be part of our SWat team, all right? So that's sort of an overview. I've sort of gone through a webinar. The best thing you can do, honestly, is to watch the webinar for our Extraordinary Business Network, because that explains in greater detail everything that we're doing in each of our communities. And one thing to remember is that as a SWat team member, you are the person who's helping that come together, okay? So if you have any questions, let me know. Lots of resources. Let's get started.